The running play prior to the touchdown was a running back draw. And I just cannot imagine being a Bengals, specifically a Bengals safety, but just the Bengals 11 defenders on the field and their defensive coordinator after this play. You're getting beat by deep play action passes. All right. Then the next series, you're down 7-3 early in the second quarter. This was one of those games where the first quarters kind of flew by early in the second quarter. And now you're getting you come out in too high because the Browns are throwing on you, right? And then they call it draw play. And Nick Chubb picks up 13 yards. Now we're looking at 1st and 10 from the Bengals above their 44 or 43 yard line. And that is when Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield got the look they wanted. We're going to the play, and you see across the board, you see press man coverage from top of the screen to the bottom, and you see a one high safety look. That tells me that the Bengals are fed up. Nope. You just ran for 13 yards on us. We're not only going to stop the run, but we're playing press man physical so that even if you are throwing the football, nothing's going to be available. We're going to be in your receiver's face. We're going to get nasty with them, and you guys aren't beating us on this one. Well, the exact opposite happens, right? What I find interesting about this play, aside from how it ends, is the Browns are on 11 personnel, a look that they did lean on heavily in the year, their most used package, but it was not one that we saw as many deep and heavy play action pass looks out of. But what I like about this play, and it really has not a lot to do with how the play ends, but it is just the inner workings of Kevin Stefanski's offense. Notice how Baker Mayfield motions Harrison Bryant into the backfield and says something to him right there. To me, this is Baker telling him that your man is blitzing, because when you put a tight end, really any player, the Chiefs do it with their receivers motioning them into the backfield, it completely changes the rules for a defense. So when Harrison Bryant is on the line as a tight end, the defense has one set of rules and one set of coverage for him, and then being in man coverage meant that their safety was on him who motions across. Now when he motions into the fullback position, you see the safety roll down even further into the box. And when we start running the play, notice that it's not that same safety that carries with Harrison Bryant, because that was Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield taking another key player out of coverage. Now, the guy that rolls down was never going to interfere with where this ball was going, but it's just for the completion of the play. Get less talented players in coverage, like linebackers, and put the guys you want in coverage closer to the line of scrimmage. It is great film study by the Browns and Kevin Stefanski getting the Bengals to play to a disadvantage because they have to follow their rules, right? All right, so let's get this play underway, right? So at the snap, it is a great look at what the Browns were making their bread and butter. It was the wide zone right. You see the entire offensive line flow right, and I think the tight view is really good for this. You just see how the mirror of running past there. It is so well done from left to right. They're in unison. That screams run. The key here to me is Baker Mayfield on the fake. He pauses just enough to hold that defensive end. Now, I don't think that end was athletic enough to catch Baker anyway, but you see him kind of dip his shoulder and confuse the end with where the ball is. The end wants to come down the line and really pursue the backside cut and take that away. But little does he know, Baker Mayfield has the football. Baker's fake and then to the roll is so artfully done. And the Bengals are so sick of Baker rolling and hitting something on the sideline that you see the free safety drive all the way down towards I don't have the play in front of me. Is it Landry coming in? Or it's Hodge.
Jarvis.
Yep.
Jarvis.
Yep. Coming down in the flat there. So sick of getting beat on that play. And it's only this early in the second quarter, right, guys? This is the second series and they're already fed up. It's exactly what you said, Doug. It's fear. It's frustration already building from not knowing where the ball is and what this offense could be doing next. That he completely bails on his deep half assignment. He is literally responsible, free safety, for the most deep man on the field. And he says, you know what? go just deal with Odell Beckham Jr. on your own out there. You're going to be fine, right? Well, let's get into OBJ's route, because you guys know how I feel about receivers. You guys know how I feel about Odell, but this is just one of the better routes you're going to see on a professional football field. First, the get off, and you're going to see early, right around the 5 yard depth, which is legal to get hands on. The Bengals try to get hands on Odell Beckham Jr. there, and Beckham sets the tone right away early in the route and fights right off him. Just says, nope, you're not getting your hands on me. Again, sending a message that throughout this route, I'm the dominant player. You're not touching me. You're not getting hands on. From that point, we get to about 12-yard depth, and you get the out. You get the little shimmy, right? And now he's like, okay, I've seen this route already before. You're going to just break out and wait for the roll to come your way. And you're really not an option on this play. You're the last resort. It's if the play kind of breaks down and Baker needs to find his guy on a sideline, he might make a tight sideline throw to Odell there. But Odell, being one of the quickest receivers in the game, all he needs is a 1-2 shimmy. And look at that burst right around the 25-yard line. I mean, that I see 3 yards of separation already there. You're not catching Odell. And Baker puts so much on this that Odell has to fall for it, and he lands right in the end zone. Touchdown. He won the route in the first 3 or 4 steps, as any great receiver would. He set the tone by not letting him win with hands on. A diligent fake. All it took was one little shimmy, breaks him free for a 43-yard score. It was peak Browns offense, in my opinion. I like what Scott said about how the Browns did have to evolve and change a little bit. And to their credit, I think they would have done that with or without Odell. You just can't run the same stuff over and over and over again. This is the NFL, right? Odell would have grew with them. But for the first half of the season, at least, this is, and perhaps later stuff they could have came back to once you shelf it for a little bit. I remember watching this play at First Energy and just thinking, this is what I envision this Browns offense looking like.